Hello and welcome to this FTB Extra. It comes out at the same time as Vlog 59, and this particular extra is all about the interview we did with Phil, who made our sails. It's the full, unexpurgated interview, and it includes within it the cost of the sails and a little bit about where they were made and how they were made.
So Phil and I and Liz, we've got the sails up, and we thought we'd quickly sit down and have a chat in our favourite patisserie in Talaga. Thanks very much, Phil, for coming over and helping us with the sails. How do you think it went?
You're most welcome. Yeah, it went very well. The sails fitted as per our measurements. No real dramas. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how everything went.
Yeah, I mean the only drama really was trying to get those sails up the foils, but that's not the fault of the sail design. That's just the fact our foils are very old. Yeah. But I think the most exciting thing is the fact that we now have a bigger Yankee, the head sail. And obviously we turn to you for advice on that. What was your thinking in how you went about increasing the size without overbalancing the boat?
I just looked at the the overall sail area of what you had already. You also mentioned that you felt the boat was maybe a little bit underpowered and you were reefing quite late compared to other cruisers. So when I compared it to sets of sails for other similar boats that we've done, I saw that the boat was really lacking in sail area for lighter conditions. So when I didn't want to overpower go from one extreme to the other. So we're just being a little bit conservative and increase the Janari area to help in the light airs, but not gone too overboard with moding it for light winds as opposed to heavy winds.
So we've gone basically from about 108%, I think, which means 8% of the sail is behind the mast. And we've now gone to 125, was it? 120. I've forgotten.
I can't remember. I have to look at my computer.
But essentially, it's a 3 extra wraps I noticed on the drum.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it's going to make a big difference for us. But importantly, as you say, we haven't gone from one extreme to the other. So this is essential.
Yeah. For sure. It's definitely. With a furler, you have to be careful not to go too big because as you're furling the sail in, the shape becomes less and less efficient. So 125% is an okay size that we think is still okay for reef furling.
And the next thing I noticed that when we put the main sail on, the boom is now at a slight incline towards the back. And you explained this, didn't you? There's a reason for this.
Yeah. The reason that the for a furling in-mast furling mainsail has a slightly raised boom is first of all that's what the manufacturers of the furling mast system tell us to do, and second it means that the bottom edge of the sail, which is reinforced with a tape and extra layers, doesn't overlap itself and become too thick inside the bottom of the mast.
Yeah, well, it's actually quite a good thing because we're looking to eventually build some kind of hard dodger system and put some solar panels there. So we needed that extra space, so thanks for pointing that out.
Unintentionally, but it's worked out for the best. So.
Yeah. Now, listen, Phil, I think a lot of people watching this are going to want to know money.
Yeah.
Are you prepared to talk about a sort of rough cost of either what we did or generally for sales?
Yeah, no problem. I'll have to look it up again because I can't remember off the top of my head. But we can come back. We can come back to that.
Okay. Because we should point out that although Phil is based in Southeast Asia, you do ship all over the world. I mean, the factory's in Sri Lanka.
Yeah. So over 50% of the sales we send direct to our customers. We send a lot to the USA and quite a few to New Zealand and Australia, and a few to Europe. So
I guess also every sail is different, so it is difficult to give an estimate of costs. But
every boat and every sail is different, so it's best to get a quote for an accurate price. But we could. It gives you a rough ballpark for that for your size boat in a ketch rig.
Yeah. Well, we'll either overlay the costs as we're talking about it, or maybe we'll put them in the description. But we're not shying away from it. But just to emphasise that Phil is here and available for any quote. But every boat is different. Every single sail is different, so just bear that in mind.
Yeah.
You've just been to the factory in Sri Lanka, haven't you?
Yeah, so I've just been visiting Sri Lanka to... I go to Sri Lanka every so often, probably once every 1 or 2 months, just to, work together with the factory on new things and different techniques. Yeah, we're always trying to develop the sails and improve them, and constantly testing cloth, testing different webbings, different sail hardware. And yeah, I had a big project that Sri Lanka I'm currently working with on a mini super yacht, so it was best to be in Sri Lanka to oversee that one.
So we've been looking through some of the video footage that you've taken, and the one you mentioned this when we last talked was the flutter test. Can you just tell us a bit more about that? Because the photo you showed us is a bicycle wheel. What's going on there? What's the flutter test?
So we test the stretch of the sailcloth with a machine hooked up to a computer with a load cell. So that gives us the stretch in the two directions plus diagonally, and then we take an identical sample and we put it on a flutter machine, which spins the material around fluttering it as it spins, and then after fluttering we take that sample and we test the stretch again, so we get an idea of what happens to the stretch characteristics of the sail after it's been used for some time.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Phil. I'd have to say, A, we're really impressed with the turnaround time. B, your service generally. C, very reasonable.
Yeah.
But D is yet to happen. We've yet to actually get out there and test the sails, and I know you're probably as keen as we are.
Yeah.
When we sort the battery problem out, we're going to be going out there and, hopefully going off to Indonesia, but maybe in between now and then we can get out there, get some footage and just have a quick look at the sails with them actually out and using them. So.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely looking forward to. We'll go out and have a look, and I always like to check how the sails turned out against the the 3D computer model of the sail. So I look forward to it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Phil.
Okay.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Big thanks to Phil for his time there. But the big question is, how much does this all cost? Well, we're going to break it down for you, but just bear in mind there are some caveats, and this really depends on the size of your sails and the sailcloth used. Don't forget also the costs we're going to give you does include international shipping. So the following costs are based on Esper's sail area, which is approximately 90 square metres, and the costs are as follows. 125% Yankee head sail with a surface area of 41 square metres, approximately $2,750. 90% staysail with a surface area of 12 square metres, approximately $900. In-mast mainsail with a surface area of 26.6 square metres, approximately $2,000. And the in-mast mizzen with a surface area of 9.8 square metres, approximately $900, giving us a total cost of $6,550. We should add that we did get a little bit of a discount for profiling Phil in the Follow the Boat videos, which was very kind of him. And he gave us a price range for the realistic cost, which would be anything from $5,500 to $7,500. And again, this range is entirely dependent on the sailcloth used, and we went for the most expensive sailcloth. Phil also reminded us that it is unusual to come across a ketch with twin in-mast furling. There's only one other boat that he's aware of that has this setup, and that's the ML. Now, who else do we know that sails an ML?